What is going on, crypto family? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on this video, guys, we're going to be talking about my Roaring Kitty thesis on why I believe Roar will reach over $1 during this cycle. And the best thing about this thesis, guys, there's 5 different points that I'm going to talk about. And all 5 points does not have to happen in order for it to reach $1. One of the points just need to happen and boom, we could see $1. Now imagine if all 5 happens, then at that point in time we could see Roaring Kitty somewhere above $10. And again, this is not an exaggeration, this is what I truly believe. And also I do have the data, or at least the proof, to being able to show you like my thesis of how I came up with this is coming from a real place. So again, not just fluff. So we're going to get into it. Do me a huge favor, hit the like button, consider subscribing. Definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts about today's video. So the first thesis, or the first reason, is the GameStop meta, meaning if GameStop starts to have a nice day, it starts to go up, the movement of Roaring Kitty is going to follow. But the cult-like following that GameStop have, which they believe that GameStop is going to reach above $100. Now, imagine GameStop actually doing that, reaching above $100, which would be somewhere around right here. And this would put it back into roughly 2021 area where it was at. So let's zoom in a little bit and see where we're currently at on the chart right here. It's currently at $28.45. So it's not really a far-fetched idea to think that GameStop can't reach $100, because once it passed this 35 mark, then we could be able to see it have this nice run up, going into the 60s, approaching the 70s. So it's not far-fetched, just to think that. So with Keith Gill coming back what, a year ago, that caused a big spark into the market. That caused a big spark as far as people getting back into GameStop. And now all of a sudden, GameStop is what retail is looking to get into. So when we saw this nice bounce right here back in going in, November, going into January, and GameStop was somewhere around like $30, guess what Roaring Kitty was doing as well too. So let me zoom out on this so that way you guys could be able to see. It was following right along with it. Of course, GameStop had the reversal, and so did Roaring Kitty. So that just lets you know that the following of GameStop, it affects the price of Roaring Kitty. So GameStop gets to 100, more likely Roaring Kitty is going to get to above $1. So that's simple enough. Now, if you couple in with Ryan Cohen from GameStop, the CEO, trying to get into Bitcoin, that is going to also have a positive impact on the price of GameStop. So it's stupidly simple just to be able to follow that specific narrative. The second one, which I think is very, very huge for us, and that is Keith Gill. Keith Gill making a comeback. When we seen Keith Gill had his comeback, one token that really pumped because of that was Kitty. I mean, Kitty, the name is Roaring Kitty as well too, but their ticker symbol is Kitty. They had a major impact, and their token went up 255%. Guys, I'm sorry, 25,000%, which is 255x. So 255x from our current price of where Roaring Kitty is at, that would actually put us above $1, guys. That's the crazy part about it. Like, he comes back for real, making these posts like he did back in May of last year. Our token is going to pump, is going to benefit from it, and we could see our token pumping 255x, which would put us above $1. That's a very, very simple narrative. Our token's name is Roaring Kitty. Roaring Kitty posts, it gets spotlights on it. We even seen when he made a brief comeback and made one post, that news article such as Bloomberg Crypto, which is a major news outlet, they covered our token Roaring Kitty because they were talking about like, oh, it looks like because of Keith Gill. Even they made the connection, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, they made the connection that Keith Gill came back, our token started pumping because of our name, just the name and likeness of Keith Gill, was able to move the needle for us. So that right there is just the second part of how we could potentially just get to $1 plus. Now you have the power of the CTO. This is where the community does everything. The community takes over. The community is providing for the token, such as rating, shilling, something that we've been talking about for what, the past year or so. And you've seen other tokens have that success by doing that. Nobly speaking, we had, Bitcoin, which is the first ever really CTO. If we're really gonna, look down to it, look at it. I mean, it's Bitcoin. Then you had Doge. Then you had Shiba Inu. Then you had Turbo. Then you have Popcat. Then you had all these other different tokens, guys. That's really a CTO. When you take a look at it, it's all about the community. The community is doing, and with these tokens that I mentioned, with the except of Turbo, it has not reached the $1 billion market cap yet. But all these other ones, guys, they either hit it or briefly hit it at one point or another. And that just lets you know, if a community truly desires $1 billion market cap plus, which is that dollar mark for us, then we are going to be able to get it. It does take a lot of grind. It does take a lot of work from the community's part, but hey, community wants it, community could get it. The fourth thing is the Shibarium and Bone liquidity. We've seen this happen to BNB, the tokens that was on BNB. At least if you haven't seen it, I could briefly tell you guys what happened once BNB had its nice pump, going from roughly around $20 all the way to $600, guys. And the tokens that was on BNB chain, they pumped as well too. This is why we've seen a lot of people started building on BNB, due to the fact that their token was pumping like crazy. One token, which was a scam, in itself, which was Safe Moon, but it caught that wind, it caught that rise once BNB started pumping. And yeah, and at one point in time, I think their market cap was somewhere around like $3 billion. And again, for us just to get to $1, we just need to be at $1 billion market cap, which it just show you like the power of liquidity will be able to do that. So we do have pairing with our token with Bone on Shibarium. We're still trying to stack more, of course, through NFT sales. So you guys got to admit your NFT to being able to do that. We also saw Solana. We saw several different tokens started pumping when Solana started pumping as well too, such as your Whiff, your Popcat. That pumped along with it as well too. We saw Myro. We've seen so many different tokens on Solana pump when Solana went from like $10 all the way up to like $200. And we think Bone in itself could go from, currently right now it's at like 33 cents, if I'm not mistaken, 33. And we think that it could have a huge pump, or 31. It could have a huge pump heading towards $100. And if that happened, the tokens that's on there on Shibarium that's paired with Bone, such as your Roaring Kitty, is going to benefit from it. And that is another way to being able to get us to $1. The last one is self-explanatory, the cat meta. Again, Popcat, that makes the list again. You got Mog. So you had different cat tokens once that cat theme started popping off, started pumping as well too. And surprisingly enough, or really not surprisingly enough, those tokens reached over the $1 billion mark, market cap mark. And the same thing would be able to happen to us. So a rising tide, it will lift all boats. So really, guys, that is my thesis of why I feel like Roaring Kitty can legitimately get above $1. $1 is not a dream, guys. It is definitely a destination. So at the end of the day, you could either join us, add to the community, or you could complain and whine about what different, I see it all the time, like people whine about what project's not doing this and that. In reality, guys, you got to make the best of the situation that is presented before you, and from that, this is how you're going to be able to profit in crypto. But that is all that I have for you today. Random Arts got signing off. Peace.